Of all the modern motherboards I've looked at, I've got to say ASUS has my favorite BIOS setup program. Let me give you a quick tour of the main screen. Let's take a quick tour of the ASUS motherboard BIOS screen. So the first thing we see when we come in here is my CPU temperature is at 45 degrees centigrade, which is a nice stable temperature. These i9 processors, this is an i9 9820, tend to run hotter. So sitting at the BIOS doing nothing, this is not a bad temperature. The next thing I can see is I have two memory sticks plugged into this motherboard. This is not optimal. This motherboard actually supports 4 memory channels, and I've only got 2 memory sticks in here. To get the best performance, I would want 4 memory sticks, but I've got 2 4GB memory sticks giving me 8GB of RAM. I can see my fan speeds right here. My CPU fan is 1283. My chassis fan is 1170 to 1240. It's bouncing around. Now I'm going to do a no-no here just to show you the CPU fan reading. I'm going to lightly come over here and touch my finger to the CPU fan and stop it from spinning. Here we go. Oh, didn't that sound wonderful? So in a second, now you can see the fan speed is stopped and my CPU temperature should start to creep up. 46, we'll let it get to 47, maybe 48. But you can see since I'm not blowing cool air through the fins of the heatsink, it's going to be heating up. So that's why you don't want any wires or a whole bunch of dust in there, because it's going to interfere with the cooling. Now I'm going to let go of the fan here and get it spinning again. Once it starts spinning, things should start cooling down. Now you can see my fan speed is back up. It's actually gone to a higher speed because the temperature is higher. So the motherboard is controlling the fan speed according to temperature and load. It's kicked the fan speed up higher to cool down the motherboard. Now my temperature was as high as 49. I'm back down to 48. It should drop down to 47, 46 and get back to where I was before within just a minute or two. Other things I can see on this motherboard is over here I can see my drives. I have a Crucial CT250BX, and I can recognize that 250 in the name, so that's a 250GB solid state hard drive. And I have an ASUS DVD-RW DVD drive, and I can see that the Crucial hard drive has Windows 10 on it because it recognizes a Windows boot manager on that drive. So my temperature has dropped back down to 47, and let me show you how to get into the BIOS. So if you turn the computer on, I'm just going to do a Control-Alt-Delete and reboot the computer. But when the computer boots up, it goes through the power on self-test. And at the end of the power on self-test, we should hear a single beep. There it was. Now I can start pressing the delete key on the keyboard, or I could press F2, and that will bring me to the BIOS. So in the BIOS, I can see on this ASUS BIOS, I really like it because it shows me everything I want to see. If I hit F7, that puts me into advanced mode, and there's all kinds of advanced settings I could change here. I don't need to change any of those. I'm going to hit F7 to go back to easy mode. And that is a quick look at the BIOS. Now another thing I like about this BIOS is you can hit F8 and get a boot menu directly from the BIOS, and it says where do you want to boot from, the Windows Boot Manager or from the DVD drive. If I had a USB memory stick in there that was bootable, it would also list that as an option. So there's your BIOS for the ASUS motherboards.